bring in Jared Dudley, Phoenix Suns forward. Jared joins me here on the show. Which is the better team, Jared? Houston or Golden State?
Golden State. Golden State is just, they obviously have the championship pedigree. I think Houston has played better throughout the year. But it's just something when those four All-Stars get together, when they're motivated, when the playoffs set, and they know what the task is at hand. I think that I saw in the New Orleans series, they can take it to a whole nother notch. And I expect, even though I'm rooting for Houston and actually going to game one, I expect when the series is over, the Warriors to show that they even have another level and that Houston will, basically push them to the brink.
Okay, but what you're saying, when you say championship pedigree, why does that matter in a series like this? Does that matter because Chris Paul is making his debut in the conference finals, that James Harden's never won a title? Why does that matter in a series like this?
I think that you saw somewhat, not from a championship pedigree, you just saw in the Philly and Boston series. I mean, Philly, you could tell it was their first playoff series. And I think that it's a different – when we played the Lakers, when I was in Phoenix with Nash in those days, even though we had Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire, you could see the championship pedigree Kobe and the Lakers had when it comes to these finals. It's the role players. It's someone like Sean Livingston and Iguodala compared to now Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, P.J. Tucker types, where these guys have been in there. They know their exact roles, the shots they've shot before. When Andre Iguodala was Finals MVP, it's the role guys that have been here before. Now, David West, where this is what they've been, this is what they've been going all season for. They've been here many times, and I think that's going to show. I think that James Harden will be brilliant. Kevin Durant will be brilliant. And the question is, can Harden have 4 brilliant games? That's why it's so hard to beat LeBron, because LeBron will give you that in the series to be able to win out of 7 games. So that's really going to be the key. Is he going to be unstoppable for 4 of those, hopefully 6 or 7 games for them? Okay,
devil's advocate, because I don't disagree with you. I think it's until somebody beats Golden State in the Western Conference 4 out of 7, I'm going to have to wait and see to predict against them getting beaten 4 out of 7. But you said that Golden State took their games to another level against the Pelicans, and I agree with that too. But I also saw the Rockets elevate themselves. After losing game 2, they adjusted and they beat down the Jazz. Was that not equally as impressive to you?
Not equally, just because Jazz went at full strength. I thought Ricky Rubio would have played a different role in that series. I still think that Houston would have won. The way New Orleans harassed Portland and their small ball and Anthony Davis and Hal Marichik, we just see there's only a couple teams, which Houston is one of them. The versatility they have, the switch starting lineups. You see Brad Stevens does it based on the starting lineup. Steve Kerr does it. A lot of coaches are afraid of that. Kerr is not, Iguodala coming in as a 5. And then putting him on Marichik, and just the versatility where, can Houston, D'Antoni is known to do that. P.J. Tucker's played some backup 5. You're basically saying, hey, we're playing your style of ball and we're trying to beat your style. And I just think that with the firepower they have of Steph, Clay, and KD through a 7-game series, I think their versatility on offense, not just to be one-dimensional, will end up playing out throughout this series.
Talking to Jared Dudley, Phoenix Suns forward, joining me here on the Dan Patrick Show. Do you think the Rockets can play enough defense to win this series?
For sure. That's the one thing that I don't think that people get enough credit. They can. I just think that one team's going to outscore someone when it comes down to it. I think they're both going to be good. I think even game 1, I could see even I could see Golden State struggling in game 1. The one thing that Houston does better than any other team is switch every ball screen. Not only do they switch ball screens, they'll switch pin downs. So someone like Klay Thompson, when you see him getting all these pin downs and jump shots, the Rockets are going to take that away. Clay is not going to have one of these 19-point quarters because they switch it, and all their defenders, besides James Harden, their starting 5, are above average defenders. I mean B+ to A-. P.J. Tucker, Capella, Chris Paul, and obviously Trevor Ariza. Bamute comes in the other line. So defensively is not going to be their problem. The problem is when they switch all these screens, Kevin Durant is going to have the mismatch most likely every single time, which he usually does anyway. But having Chris Paul harden on him when they do these screens is going to open him up a lot.
All right, let me ask you about the Eastern Conference. 2 teams that on some level are in the conference finals somewhat improbably. I mean, I guess LeBron being there isn't that improbable. He's done it 8 consecutive seasons. But, they've had their issues this year. Boston's injury issues. Which team are you more surprised is in the conference finals right now?
Boston. Boston by a little bit. I think that we don't give enough credit to all these players. A lot of it we give credit to Brad Stevens, and rightfully so. But Tatum's a stud. Jaylen Brown was a stud last year towards the end, and we knew that he's going to have a big season. His potential, their versatility. We didn't know about Rozier. We didn't know Rozier was this good. And Brad Stevens gets a lot of that credit. He's good defensively. He takes big shots. He makes big shots. Al Horford's their key. The reason why their offense is so unique to be able to move it is because they have a 5 whose IQ is one of the best in the NBA. He can shoot the 3. He makes all the right decisions. He can play small ball. He can punish you in the post. So I would put them. And when it comes to Cleveland, well, the thing is, can you beat LeBron 4 out of 7? He finds a way. The game slows down. The ball's in his hand more now than it's ever been his whole career. And that's why I think that Boston will give him trouble, because Boston's going to throw a lot of bodies at him and wear him down. And I just think that he'll have one game where he's going to win in Boston. And can Boston, from a mental edge, being as a young team, deal with that? Because they never lose at home. LeBron's going to find a way to win one game in Boston. That always happens every time he plays. He's going to have one of those games. Kevin Love's going to hit a couple of these threes. And can they be able to get enough wins on the road and be able to win in Cleveland to win this series? And I don't think they can.
Why was Indiana more effective against Cleveland than Toronto was?
Indiana, throughout the whole season, has been the scrappiest, greediest, dirtiest, dirty in a good way, team. Physical, and you'd hate – they're the one team in India you hate to play. Because if you didn't play hard enough, they're going to win by 20. And so one of the problems with the Cavaliers is they don't play hard all the time. They're bad in transition defense. Besides, before they were playing Tristan Thompson, they don't have any physical players. Love is pretty physical down low to a certain degree. So their athleticism, Thaddeus Young to be his versatile being defending to guard LeBron and Kevin Love, it's a different matchup. Where Toronto, I think we all agree the mental edge Cleveland had, but I don't think they had that player like Victor Oladipo where, hey, no one can guard me. You can't trap me. I'm not looking for fouls. I'm just more faster, athletic, and Jason Tatum can be that player if he's ready at this age to be able to do it, and that's what we're waiting for here. Come Sunday.
You played with both Morris brothers in Phoenix. Ever have any problems telling them apart?
Never. Markieff has a little chubbier cheeks. You can never tell from the Wizards and stuff like that. He's a little bit more. Marcus is a little bit more leaner. And how about that story? These are two guys that you think that overall, they get early on. Got a bad rep. I remember talking to Ainge before the game. They love him and what he's done for that team, being a starter in Detroit. And a lot of people don't buy in. Now, he was a starter, getting ready to be on a contract year coming up next year, and to come in off the bench and to be able to get the same reps, you got to credit. You never hear anything bad about Boston, those players sacrificing, and you'll see maybe the next year when these two stars come back, and that's a credit to their coaching staff.
Well, you remember there was a long time people thought that they couldn't play apart. Like, they were very against it.
Right. And if you listen to them, they weren't. The thing about them, they work hard in the summertime. They want to get better each and every year. And in this day and age, especially in basketball, you need those tough guys. You need those guys that don't mind getting in someone's face. And I think that's helped Boston throughout the year. He got it with Ben Simmons. They're not really a pushover, and I think it's helped their grit and their toughness of their team.
Always great to talk to you, Jared. Enjoy the conference finals, my friend. Appreciate the time.
Anytime, man. Thank you.
You got it. It's Jared Dudley, the Phoenix Suns forward, joining me here on the Dan Patrick Show.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.